Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Sony is worried about Call of Duty quality of PlayStation if Xbox acquires the franchise. Now, this article that we're going to read comes from Game Rant. The problem I see with this, obviously, they keep moving the goalposts, right? Sony was worried that they were going to take Call of Duty off of PlayStation, and now they're worried that they're going to sabotage it on PlayStation. So let's get into it. Sony is worried about Call of Duty quality of PlayStation if Xbox acquires the franchise. Sony is concerned that Microsoft could sabotage the Call of Duty games on PlayStation consoles if Activision Blizzard deal goes through. Now, while some are excited about the possibilities of Xbox implementing acquisitions, the Activision Blizzard and others are concerned that Microsoft may gain a monopoly on the gaming industry after buying out so many other major third-party studios over the past few years. Now, one of the loudest voices speaking of the opposition's deal is Sony, with many of the rival first-party console makers fearing being centered around the highly lucrative Call of Duty franchise. Now, Sony has previously expressed concern that PlayStation could lose or would lose access to Call of Duty should Xbox successfully acquire it, and something that Xbox representatives have repeatedly denied as the deal proceeds through international regulatory channels. Now, could Microsoft go back on their word? Sure, they could, because once they buy it, they can decide what they want to do with the franchise. But this would be an idiotic move, right? It would be an idiotic move because they're trying to make that $68.9 billion or whatever the deal is. They want to make their money back as fast as possible. It would be stupid as a business decision to take it off of PlayStation, which they're not, and it would also be stupid to sabotage it on PlayStation as well, because there was a study that went out, or a survey that went out, and I think it was 3% of the population that owns a PlayStation would move over to an Xbox so they can play Call of Duty. 3%. It's ridiculous. So recently, Sony had aired new concerns regarding Xbox Activision Blizzard merge. Okay, their merger. It says right here that this is a competitor could actively sabotage the future of Call of Duty entries of PlayStation consoles. More specifically, Sony claims that said Call of Duty games could be released with game-breaking bugs and glitches that only crop up after the final level or in a later update. Given that many players tend to buy new Call of Duty games in the first few weeks at launch, these glitches would be detected remedy too late to change fans' perception of the game on PlayStation, with the brand being potentially damaged as a result. All right, these concerns were aired in the UK Competition of Markets Authority and the challenge Xbox planned acquisition of Activision Blizzard due to potential antitrust issues. Since the deal was first announced earlier last year, Call of Duty significantly as a blockbuster franchise has been a major part of the argument held by the UK regulators, which have gone far to suggest that Call of Duty is removed from Activision Blizzard portfolio as a condition of the buyout. Now, Xbox has countered these claims and suggested by stating that cutting off PlayStation access to Call of Duty would make no business sense. Okay, a lot of people could argue, but think about this. For Sony just to say what they're saying, they're basically calling out not just Microsoft, but the industry itself by saying could be developers out there that once the game is launched out into the public and people buy it, they can release bugs after the fact, right? Sony has just said that out loud in front of everybody, saying that there's companies that could do this or potentially could do this. And now that they're saying that Microsoft said that they're going to do a 10-year deal and they'll put Call of Duty on PlayStation, PlayStation is now literally just like, they're the crazy uncle right now. They're like, wow, did you see that person? He's staring at me. Could be doing something wrong. Like, calm down, Sony. Okay, I understand you're both multi-million-dollar corporations. I'm not taking Microsoft's sides. I'm not taking Sony's side. It just seems they're a little paranoid. Like they smoked a little bit too much, and they're paranoid and they're being followed or someone's staring at them. But now they're literally saying that Microsoft would put a product out that would break after the fact, right? Like Microsoft needs their help to do that on purpose. They have plenty of games that come out broken, buggy, and same thing with third-party games. But it's amazing to me how Sony is so paranoid that they're like, they're going to take Call of Duty away from us. Sony, Xbox is like, we're not taking it away from you. They're like, well, they could do this and they're not giving us a good deal. They're like, we're giving you a 10 deal, just like everyone else across the business. They're like, well, now they can make the bugs and glitches on this game and it's going to make it worse product. And they're like, what? At this point, you are that paranoid, like, pothead. You know what I mean? We've all been there. If you know what I mean? You think you're speeding. You think the cops are after you. You think someone's following you. That's what Sony feels like right now. Jim Ryan and Sony PlayStation feel like they're just paranoia of no matter what. And if they say that they have the best version of the game, they feel like, I don't know. It's just very strange to me. What do you guys make of this? Do you think Sony is just going overboard and you think they're paranoid? Or do you think it's possible that not only does Microsoft release games after the fact to be broken, buggy, and glitchy after you've paid your hard-earned money, because we all have had games like that break after the fact, but now Sony say that Microsoft potentially could do that. Does that mean Sony does that on their games and they're calling someone else out? It just seems weird to me. Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And man, let me know what you think about this paranoia that Sony's got, because I feel like everyone's after them. Well, not everyone, but Microsoft is out to get them. And I feel like they're kind of projecting. Let me know. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.